Album, KwaZulu Natal-born jazz artist Fundile Mdingi brings a fresh feel to the jazz scene. Mdingi has shared the stage with the likes of Sbongile Khumalo, Lira, Hugh Masekela, to name a few. One other aspect of this gifted artist is the talent he has displayed in producing other artists' albums. He joins me now in studio to talk about his latest album and the work. Good morning, and welcome to my live.
Thank you for having me.
Compliments of the season. Let's talk about the fact that you have the ability to switch hats. You're an artist and you're a producer. How did that come about?
Well, I grew up wanting to make music. Whenever I went to other people's studios, I couldn't find the sound that I wanted. So I had to buy my own studio. So back in the days, studios were so expensive. But fortunately, I did get one. And then I started producing from there. Yeah, so that's how producing and singing comes together.
Did they develop at the same time, or did you start up producing first?
I mean, you start up with singing, and it draws you into music. And then you now learn sound, and you learn different sounds, and you want to know what's happening, and then production will come from there.
So you've created such an amazing career for yourselves, including working with global icons.
Yeah.
How did those relationships come about, and what did you learn from the Hugh Masekelas of the world?
Yeah, I mean, when I finished tertiary, I started working with Hugh, and he had a studio in South Africa. He just came back to the country. And that's when I started working with them, and then it moves from there. You get more African artists coming, and my job was making what they call the groove. They would finish a song and say, "Call the kid." I would come in, make it move.
Okay. Why lean towards that kind of Afro pop sound as opposed to maybe any other sound? What is it about the African beat that drives you?
When I grew up, we were singing R&B, and then I met Sbongile Khumalo as a kid, and he said to me, "You're an African." Then I had to learn now my own music and what it's all about. Then growing up, you start working with artists from all over Africa, producing works and producing for Hugh's, writing for them. And then you then understand that there's something very important about that. And someone said to me, "If you don't do African music, who else will?"
Good question. Talk to me about Borrowed Gifts, because in 2010 it was nominated for a SAMA.
Yeah.
What did that tell you about you as the artist, the producer, and where in the direction your music was going?
It was great. Great to see your work go out there, and because the artist is something else. The producer produces house kwaitos from Sawawa to DJ Diras and whatnot as a producer. But as an artist, Borrowed Gift was, for me, I think I call them producer's album. Yes, after I finish a couple of albums, then I have to go to the singer and wake him up.
You obviously woken him up now. So 2010, you have Borrowed Gifts. What are you in studio with now? I think I heard you say that you've got the new album out called Lekonela Music.
Yes, that's.
And how's that responding? What is that about?
It's what I feel is this African sound from my experience. And I just wanted to create a record that is African and has not just South African feel, that has an African feel. And I think I'm trying to...
I mean, that's one of the songs we had, Sarafino, off the album.
Yeah.
What has the response been like from fans from the music industry? Because you're staying true, you're creating, you're doing something that's been done before, but you're adding fresh elements to it.
Fresh maybe is the name. For me, I feel that it's a good direction, and if we can move more to that direction, a lot of people, then we would have a lot of great songs. And maybe that's the important thing. Yeah.
Fundile, what do you think, or how do you feel about the South African music industry at the moment? There's a lot of new sounds coming out. The market is being flooded with new artists. The introduction of the digital space has allowed artists to produce their music.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, I grew up in a time when nobody had a studio. And today everybody has a studio, but what's important is the idea behind and how people create the music. There's a lot of songs, but some won't make it, not even because of quality. So there's lots of stuff out there, and it's great. And people should open up to new things like the hip hop that's coming out and stuff. So I think, and people are opening up. So I think it's good.
Yeah, so there's a bright future for South African music.
Yeah.
We're going to leave it there. That's Fundile Mdingi, who's talking to us about his album. The album is Lekonele Music. That's the brand new album that's out, and it's available in all good music stores. If you've been to the performances, you love the music, share your thoughts with us, Morning Live at sabc.co.za.